In this video, I'm going to show how to replace your AC condenser on this Lexus IS250. This is located behind your front bumper, and it is very important to have the system professionally evacuated of all the refrigerant before you start this job. Let's get started. From underneath the vehicle at the front, you'll see this shield that is supposed to be secured to the bottom of the front bumper cover. It looks like my vehicle has been in a slight collision here, and the tabs are all broken except for this side. So I don't have anything to unthread here because it wouldn't actually be removing anything. It's already broken. So for you, remove the 10mm headed screws that hold this shield onto the front bumper cover all across the front. There should be 4 of them. It looks like I still have 1 over here. And with those out, the center shield should be unhooked from the bumper. We still have some on each side, so remove this one in the center and then the one that's all the way to the side. On the side of the bumper cover, where it meets the fender liner, there will be 2 clips on each side. To unlock these, you want a flathead screwdriver, turn clockwise or counterclockwise, a 1/4 of a turn or 90 degrees, and then pick it out. You want to remove it all the way. To finish removing it, you might need a trim tool. We'll do the same to the one on the top. And if you peel the fender liner away, which you can now do since it's unclipped, you'll see that 10mm headed screw that we have to remove. Now you can pull the bumper cover away, and we'll do the same to the other side. Your vehicle should also have some fog light connectors on the back side of the bumper cover. So with it peeled away, you should be able to reach those, and by pressing down on the locking tabs, wiggling and pulling down, you'll be able to disconnect the electrical connector. Now, sometimes these get really stuck. So what I do to overcome this is I use a pocket screwdriver, come in from the top, and basically push the connector or the locking tab of the connector out from the other side, just like that. And then with some pliers, very gently wiggle the electrical connector and pull down. All right, shake the sand out of it and do the same to the other side. Now we have to remove this cover, and it's just held on with a bunch of push clips, so we'll go around, pop them all out with a trim tool, and then remove the cover. With that shield removed, you'll see that on each corner by the headlight, there's some hardware that looks like it's a plastic grommet with a Phillips head screw in the center. We do have to remove that, so grab a Phillips head screwdriver or a bit for your impact driver and remove it. We'll do the same to the other side. And right in the center by the hood latch, you'll see a 10mm headed bolt. Remove that as well. Now, from the top, lift the bumper cover up and away, pull it away, and set it aside. Let's remove this air intake. It's got a push clip on this side that you have to press down to unlock, and then pry it up with the trim tool. On the other side, it's supposed to be a 10mm bolt. Mine looks like it has been replaced, so I'm using a Torx. Now you can lift this up and out. This wiring harness, we just need to ensure that it is unclipped so we can push it away, because we'll next remove this. On each side of the radiator support, there are 2 10mm headed bolts. We have to remove them all. In the center by the hood latch, we have to remove this mounting nut, 10mm socket. Doing all of that allows us to pull this upper radiator support out of our way and expose the AC condenser hardware that we're after. Use a 10mm wrench or socket and remove the bolt holding on this upper line onto the AC condenser. Got that one out. It broke. That happens, unfortunately. So let's try to disconnect this line, and then we'll unhook the lower one. All right, have to do a little bit of prying and a little bit of wiggling. Any hissing that you hear is actually a vacuum. When the machine discharges the system, it pulls a vacuum at the end. So the first line that you disconnect will hiss unless you have a leak already. The other line is at the bottom. Let's remove that one as well. All right, I was able to save this one, which is great. Very corroded though, so I'll clean it up. And that's disconnected. We have a 10mm fastener holding on a bracket for the upper line. Let's take this one out as well. At the top of the AC condenser, we now have two 10mm mounting bolts to remove that hold this onto the radiator. So remove them both, one on the left and one on the right. Now you can take the AC condenser and lift it straight up and out. There it is. Take the new AC condenser and slide it down into position. Be careful not to damage anything, pinch any lines or anything like that. Install one of the bolts at the top on the radiator, whichever one lines up first. And once it does, go ahead and snug it. Line up the other side, snug that one as well. Let's reinstall the lines, replace the O-rings, lubricate them with PAG oil, and slide them in to their corresponding ports. Make sure you try to fully seat it before you put that bolt in. I cleaned up my bolts, put some anti-seize on it. I'm going to thread it in. Bottom it out, give it a tiny bit extra, and that's plenty tight. Just a little bit further up, we have this bracket that holds on the upper line. Let's bolt this back up. Snug it. This bracket is in poor condition, so I'm not too worried about it. And finally, the upper line. Resecure this in place. For this one, I found a bolt that is the same exact length as the original. It just doesn't have the same 10mm head, but that's fine. I'm going to thread this in. All right, snug this up. Perfect. Install the upper radiator support back in its place. And we'll resecure it with the 4 bolts, 2 on each side. Right here in the center, line up this stud and thread on the mounting nut. Place the air intake ducting back in the air box and line it up with the 2 mounting points. We'll put the push clip on one side and the bolt on the other side. Now bring the front bumper cover back over the front of the vehicle. Careful not to scratch your paint or your headlights. At the center of the top of the bumper cover, reinstall this 10mm headed fastener. Snug it up. And on each corner near the headlight, reinstall the Phillips head fasteners that actually have machined threads on them with the plastic bump stop at the top. Just snug those up. Now reinstall this cover and put back all the push clips that held it on. On each side of the bumper cover, line it up with this bracket that's below the fender, and you want to make sure that it clips in and locks in. All right, now in each corner where the fender meets the bumper cover, screw in the 10mm headed screw that secures the 2 of them together. Now plug in the foglet bulb. Now let's fit the fender liner back on the bumper cover. It has to go behind these clips. Now insert these push clips with the 2 tabs facing up and down. Push them all the way in. Once you've done that, you can turn them clockwise and they'll lock in. At the bottom of the bumper cover in the front, put back all the fasteners that you have. For me, a lot of them are missing and things are broken, so I have to improvise a little bit, but I'm going to put back some screws and some push clips. Okay, once you have all your fasteners back, job is done. Now with the job finished, don't forget to recharge the AC system professionally with the right amount of refrigerant so that the system can work correctly. If it's too much or too little, it may not work at all or work improperly.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.